And good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500 for Thursday, September 21st, 2023. Our minute, or actually Minuette wave 3 continued to extend today, and that is a part of the minute third wave, and in turn the minor third wave, and in turn the intermediate first wave. So it's been quite the downturn. And again, I just want to reflect for just a moment. These are classic third wave moves, where we just start to go and we start breaking resistance, start breaking support, and it just keep breaking that support level. Now, I'm tracking this all the way down, and we're counting out each of the moves. So first we had 1, 2, and then we had 3, 4, and now we're in the fifth. And it in itself has subdivided down. And I believe what we're in now is the fifth of this Minuette wave 3. So with that in mind, I actually cleaned up all the support zones that we had coming down, as most of them were exceeded. So I took them off as they're not really applicable anymore. So what I've left on is we start here with the minute degree. We have 1.618, which I'm leaving on because it's going to end up being resistance on the way back up. But right now we've exceeded it. So on a minute basis, I am looking for this Minuette 3 to complete, do a fourth wave, come back down in the fifth to complete the minute third. So I'm leaving this on for right now, but this would be our next level on the minute 3. We're looking at 14,390, 395, 396, 390 down in that area to complete the minute third. And then I'd have to go up even more if we're out in the minor, because here this is 100%, where minor wave 3 would be equal to minor 1. That also 43.99 or 4,400. 14, wow, I can't even get my numbers together. 14,400 down to 14,396. That would be where minor wave 3 would be 100%. But I keep these because I'm always going to be looking for a little bit more. I don't want minor 3 to even be hinting that it could be the shortest wave. So I always look for a little bit more than 100%. So we're down a little bit more. So again, we still have a fair amount to do. And minor 3 is likely going to come in down here because we're just finishing up Minuette wave 3, and then we have to finish up minute wave 3, and then we get to finish up minor wave 3. So I think we still have quite a bit to play out. Now, a little bit more on how I'm building my levels and what happens when they break, what it suggests moving out to the next. As this Minuette third wave continues to extend lower, and I do believe, I'm feeling pretty good that we're likely within this final, if I've got this count right, 1, 2, 3, very small 4, do another 5. We have 2.618, that's all in alignment here. 1.618 got touched, and that was just in the extra hour close, the extra hour after our official close. So it reached down and it touched below. Let me just see what that low was. 14,841. The support was 14,844. We are now trading above that. So again, very possible that this completed that third. We're inside the fourth. We're looking at it should not, being that this is not that big, it should not start to really go too far. I'll bring it down and let's take a look at it on the 30-minute chart. We're kind of going up. We're already bumping into the 30-minute 4. We have the 30-minute 8 just above the 14,882. That, or possibly gets up back close to 14,900 before it comes back down and puts in that finishing fifth wave. So here again, we can do one more. Once we have this, you can put a fib, and again, on your smaller time frames, you can put a fib extension from here to here and down to wherever that 4 tops out. And that's going to give you pretty much a really pinpointing where this fifth wave of that Minuette wave 3 is going to come in. We have a little bit larger where it could drop. The 2.618 is 14,736. So yeah, there's still plenty of room. And then again, this goes, believe it or not, just to the Minuette. So we're inside the fifth wave, and that's how deep it can get. And then we still have to complete, once it breaks 100%, the next most common is 1.618. More important, as I've discussed all along, will be the actual structure. So that's how far it can go. But with the way this is now moving, I'm thinking it's going to come in between, somewhere between here, these two. Then we're going to get a fourth wave. And again, where do I think it can get to? Back up into here. So if it gets down closer to 14,800, that's a 200 wave 4, 200-point wave 4. I mean, because we have 1, 2, 3. This is the 4, as sloppy and ugly as it is. And that takes us up to 15,113. But don't forget, that's just the minute wave 4. So I'm not looking for it to get too much above all of this before it turns and comes back down in the fifth. My Minuette wave 5, and that is then to complete the minute. Now we're back out to here. Now that we've broken 1.618, the next for the minute degree is all the way down here, 14,400. So from where we are, another 400 points from there, we did drop 300 today. So if it manages to rally and then put another 300-point decline in, we're down to 14,700. So we're still going to be into here. And this would be the 3. We're getting to 3, the 4. We're getting the, if this completes the third, which I think we still need to do, then we get a 4, then we get a 5. That completes this. Then we get another 4 and another 5, and that completes this. Then we get another 4 and another 5, and we complete again the next level up. So we do have stair stepping down. I know it starts to get confusing. It's difficult to pinpoint because of the number of steps that it has to get through, and the fact that we're extending still within the actual 3 of 3 of 3. It's the third of the third of the third. And that's where the greatest extension is always going to come in. So once it's done, the pace of getting down to the ultimate low for intermediate wave 1 should start to unfold a little bit quicker. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. Now for tomorrow, it's an expiration. And I think that just because of all the news that we've had and the buildup to that news on what interest rates are going to do, there may be a lot of positions that are needing to come off. And when you see, for example, here's what I notice. When you're watching individual stocks and you're basically seeing how they are, like suddenly one will just start and turn green and stay green. Like for today, for much of the day, Microsoft was trading above 320 and continued to trade above 320. We can't forget that the options are trading. And if they're buying a lot of puts, the hedges, you buy the underlying. If they're buying a lot of calls and the dealers are selling those calls, you're buying the underlying. That's your hedge. So there's several reasons to be buying the underlying in the markets when the markets are appearing to just fall apart. So again, just little tidbits that go along with noticing something like, oh, are we going to start to turn, because we start to see several of the stocks go green. Apple fought upside, had a lot of upside because they see a lot of position squaring. We see a lot going on that's going to take us into tomorrow's expiration. I think there's going to be a lot coming off again. And then the end of the month, which is the following Friday, is actually going to also be, I think, a big expiration as we start to roll forward and get ready for earnings, which begin shortly thereafter. Okay, so for tomorrow, again, I am looking for the completion of the Minuette third wave. We get a fourth wave in and then a fifth wave down. That all can happen tomorrow. And then we're done with, on the Minuettes, we do the Minuette 3, Minuette 4, Minuette 5. We put in this minute wave 3. Then we do a minute 4 and 5. Now, that may not all happen tomorrow. But I can see on a Minuette degree, we get that the 4 maybe completes, or we're done with this, or we go back one little bit more. We're going up in a small 4. We come down in a fifth. That puts in the Minuette 3. We go back up in a 4, back down in a fifth. That puts in the minute 3. And is that going to come in here? Or are we really going to start to decline strongly again? We have all these things. This is because once they start breaking, these are the natural progression. So we have the natural progression within this tiny move from there. That's where it started, down to wherever it's going to finish. It has enough power, if it can generate enough power, to get itself down to 14,736. It's 110 points from here. Not that much, and with the NASDAQ really cruising lower. Now, the Minuette third can finish up here. So we get the 3, then a 4, and a 5. Does it bring it here? Does it bring it here? We'll have to wait and see. These are our options. Then once that is complete, we're looking for the completion of this minute third wave. So we get this all done. Minuette 3, Minuette 4, Minuette 5. Is it going to bring it down this low, or do we come in between? We will be able to continue to add fibs as we get these fourth waves. We can quickly throw in where we believe we're going to get that fifth wave. Minuette wave 1 is not that small. So when we do get this low for this 3, and we start to get that 4, we'll be able to shift and do a extension for wave 5 as it is compared to wave 1. Same thing we'll do here. When we get that 3 and then the 4, we'll run here the same deal. We'll run the fibs, the extensions, for Minuette wave 1 as Minuette wave 5 compares to 1. But I need the 3 to complete. I need that 4 to complete before I can start to set up for that 5th. So we'll get filler in here. We'll get more, and I'll continue to take out the ones that have already been surpassed, the ones that are they're no longer in play, because it just, the chart would just be nothing but fibs, and then it's too difficult to read. So I cleaned that up as best I could. These are all still in play, and it's just going to depend on how it all starts to move from here. Again, we're getting a lot of follow through on the daily chart, of course, and we can see now 2 pretty large daily candles down, and we're honing in, right? If we're looking at the minuettes, look where it comes into. This is the Minuette 3. Come all the way down. I'm not expecting it to have that much steam. Minute 3, yeah. I think it could get down here. And on the minor, that's 100%. So we start to match up. We start to get into alignment. And you're going to start to see how I use these different levels and working to where everything starts to come in. So far, everything's kind of doing what it's supposed to be doing. And they're coming into levels that are pretty large in terms of what we've had to work with previously. But this is a bigger decline, and it is a part of a much larger decline, bigger decline. So it's all kicking in. I'm going all the way back out. I can go to the daily. We can see that primary C wave. When we start getting into third waves, and we're not even into an intermediate third wave yet, we start to expand in terms of how steep the decline will become. And that's going to be the case for a little while. We will get bounces. And again, today, I will be honest with you, the trading in the NASDAQ had its moments. But because of these sudden bursts of energy in Microsoft or in Apple, where the stock would pop, and I'm not talking a whole bunch, 50 cents, maybe $1 in Microsoft, but it was moving the index, it was moving the NASDAQ itself, $5, $10, $15. And it happened very quickly, then it just all reversed. So it was kind of difficult, like well, what is this and what's going on? So it did present its challenges. Over in the S&P, it basically is the same story in how this thing just kind of kept going and kept going and kept going. But we're going to see that we can building up the same type of pattern, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's this fifth. The fifth is really the super extended wave. But even if I kind of come in here for the some way I can figure it out, and this was the 3, right? So 1, 2, 3 comes all the way down to here. There's the 4, and now we're in the fifth of Minuette wave 3. Is that all? Is that far enough? So it starts to get very, very interesting. Because where am I going to put wave 1 to compare to wave 5? At best, well, all I have is, again, right here. And that's pretty small to come down to here because we're already there. So only thing I can do here is I just add levels. I add 3, 8, and 4, 2, 4, 2, 3, 6, right? So let me kind of clean that up. This one no longer is working. This actually is all gone. And this is all gone. So I'm going to take all those out and just leave in the ones that become effective to where can this small or the all Minuette 3 end. So we're in the 5 of the 3. And now we got 43.58. Ultimately, in terms of Minuette 3, its next level is 43.40. But now we've got some in between. I've added a little bit, so I've added a different layer, and now we can maybe 43.58. And that's just, again, let's get serious here. That just completes the 3. Then we get a 4 and a 5, and that could bring us down to here to 43.40, and that completes the minute, or the minute. Well, yeah, actually it would. This is for the Minuette, or the 5, the 4, and that's just the 3rd. Yeah. So the Minuette, we're in 5 of 3. So you see, it could even be tough for me. So let's say this kind of comes in at 43.58, maybe a little bit lower, down to 43.50. We got 43.58 to 43.50. That finishes the 3rd. Then we do a 4 and a 5 to finish the 3, 4, and a 5 to finish the Minuette 3. Then we do a 4 and a 5, and we're working on the minute 3. And where do we have that one? 42.68, 42.70. Well, again, as soon as I start to build on the 4s and 5s, I will be able to draw down. Like right now, I'm still drawing down within the move, within the 3 to finish the 3. Once I get that 3 done and I get a 4, then I can pull this one in to give me where the 5 is going to be. And again, this Minuette wave 1 was pretty big. It was 100 some odd points. So wherever this ends up, that's going to be a comparison, because the number one comparison is equality. So we still have potential. We have potential. Again, none of this is cast in stone like market must do this, because the market's going to do what the market does. But again, Tomorrow's an expiration. Let me just double check to see if we have numbers of anything coming out. On Friday, we have, S&P Flash US Services PMI, Manufacturing PMI, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Fed presidents and 1 governor. 3 presidents, 1 governor out there on the stump, starting tomorrow at 8:50 a.m. Eastern. And then at 9:45 Eastern, we get the S&P Flash, and 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. and two at 1 p.m. and 1 at 10 a.m. Other Fed presidents will be talking it up. Everybody's gonna be paying very close attention to it, so it could drive the market even further, because that's what really started all of this, was what Powell said yesterday. So we've got 3, 4 going to come and stump tomorrow. Could that drive us down, finish all this up, finish up all the way up to the minute? Seriously, all the way up to the minute. That would be good. Get us going on this until we can start to continue the larger moves. So anyway, here we are. We have 43.58, 43.50, right? 49.50. That to complete Minuette wave 3. We do another 4, which I'm not really looking for this thing to really come popping up that high. Maybe as high as wherever this gets, like back up to here, 43.86, 82. We drop down again to put, and that would be the Minuette wave 4, Minuette wave 5 comes down. And then we finish up this minute wave 3. Let's see if we can get that all done tomorrow. Big order, but we'll see if it actually can happen. I want to go over and take a look at the daily just to see how our moving averages are shaping up here. You can see, look where we're coming. The 200. Wow. I'm looking for this thing to maybe bottom out at 43.40 right now. That's going to be just above, just above the daily 200 EMA on the S&P. Now, we saw what happened when it broke the 50. Took it a couple days, but boy, when it kicked in, get out of the pool. Sharks are in the water. So if they're going to break the 200, that's another major step on a daily chart. It's another major step in a decline. Or even if it was on the way up, breaking it, it's another major step to boost a rally or to give fuel to a decline. And then we have the daily 200 SMA at 43.04. And here we have, again, minute support, right? For minute 3, 2.618. We've already surpassed 1.618. It's now going to now bring resistance to the party on the way back up. And maybe that's just going to be a 4th wave within the Minuette. And then we come back down again to 38 to 40 to finish Minuette wave 5, minute wave 3. And then we're contending with the minor. The minor, this is where it all works out. Again, as this progresses, let me just put up the 4-hour. As it all progresses, I will be able to continue to add for 5th waves. We have those beautiful Fibonacci extensions that we put up for 5th waves that guide us on the final moves within each of these waves. So next up is going to be that we're going to be looking for Minuette wave 5 as it compares to Minuette wave 1. Once it's complete, and I have minute wave 3 in, I have minute wave 4, I'm going to do the same thing so that I can work out where am I looking for minor wave 3's completion point. And we're going to work our way down on a fib basis because that's what works the best right now. And we will get there. So stay tuned. And I get a lot of questions about where can I pinpoint, and even in a time factor of when these things are going to bottom. It's like, actually, no. Because if I kept looking for a bottom here, you see it extended, and it's extending. And you must allow for all of that. So I will do my best to continue to build our fib levels. And that's how we're going to pinpointing our low. But each day we're able to add more. So we'll continue to do that and then continue to try to pinpoint. In the meantime, have a great trading day tomorrow. Make the best out of it. Remember, use your stops. Remember, don't be hanging on to something, because moves are going to be vicious in both directions. Have a great trading day tomorrow. Next update will be on Sunday, and it's going to be the 24th. Sunday, September the 24th.